Welcome, hello everybody. I'm Robin. I used to run. Oh, here we go. Right, this is the introduction music. Rule Britannia, I thought it appropriate for the morning. Can you hear me at the back? They can't hear you at the front. Can you do a swap and you'll hear better then? Right, that's enough of that.
Next, then.
Oh, that's our motto is snafu. Everybody knows what snafu is.
Yeah, we're not going
We're going down that one fast on this little wars today. I'll tell you about snafu if we've got time at the end. Hopefully there won't be any more time for me to come back and speak anymore. But I've got to do something about little wars first. And today is St George's Day, hence the rose. It's also the anniversary of Shakespeare, 450th anniversary today. And in 1918 it was Zeebrugge. Thank God I said that right. Which was naval battle where they went and hacked some of the German U-boat bases. But we're going on to little wars, not big ones. And it's about little wars. Is a game of kings written 100 years ago by a guy called H.G. Wells. If you remember, he wrote The Time Machine. He was the Doctor Who of 100 years ago. He also, but he wrote Little Wars because he said it's a game played by boys from 12 to age 150, which is about right for where we are now. That's the average age for them. Yeah. And I've got to be careful on this. And girls are the better sort, plus a few rare and gifted women, ladies. Well, I can say my dragon, who wrote this, and she likes Little Wars. And in prehistory, in Egypt, the pharaohs, they played with model Egyptians. Old soldiers in Queen Anne's time played with steadfast tin soldiers. And heaven forbid, even the Kaiser played Kriegsspiel, invented by some German. In 1898, Robert Louis Stevenson, who wrote Treasure Island, and he lived in Westbourne, just close to us here. Quite. He played with these little model soldiers. Model soldiers. J.K. Jerome, Arthur Conan Doyle, but best of all the scouts at Brownsea Island, they had their own special game written for them. And so these are some of the little models, and that's one 54mm. There's a general. This is my ditty box, D-Day ditty box. There's an officer with a round base, so that's an old one. These are of the time. That's a modern one. Oops, drunk already. There we are. And they played with what was called a Britain's 4.7-inch naval gun. I must have told you that one. These are pretty blooming dangerous. They never. It's got a whacking great. No. And if you do that, ouch! Oh, there we go. That's why it's dangerous. Don't play with those at all. But H.G. Wells, he was very much. He saw the First World War coming up in 1911. He saw it. He saw the Second World War coming up in the 1930s. And he was against all wars, which was brilliant. He wanted to get people to play this game so that they would realise it's much better to play miniature wars than the real thing.
Yes.
The thrill of victory, the disaster of defeat, without battered bodies, without real casualties. Great wars, ghastly, massive suffering. And that's the most specific realisation. I think this is so important. You only have to play this game a couple of times to realise just what a big blunder that big wars. So this was 1913, just before the First World War, which is so prophetic. We're going to play Little Wars, which was to do with Victoria, Queen Victoria. Right, quiet lads. And it was in the period of Pax Britannica. 100 years after Trafalgar and Waterloo, and we had the Royal Navy ruled the waves. That's why we're home playing Rule Britannia. It comes in. We haven't practiced this at all, but it's not rehearsed.
Never, Robin, it's not rehearsed.
And first of all, we have the next one to tell you. We'll be going to Africa and Asia